Okay, this is our second workshop in our series of workshops leading up to the Career Symposium, which takes place October 5 to 9. Last week we gave you a preview of what the symposium is going to look like. You know what the panels are. You know what's going to happen throughout the day, so that part is pretty exciting. But I'm going to focus today's conversation about the panel discussions or the panel presentations or the panel workshops. And what those are those specialty areas. So we have aerospace engineering, aircraft maintenance, we have pilot careers, military careers, and then we have a conversation about education opportunities. And mixed in with education, not just the school, but certification and then the scholarships that may help you pursue those opportunities. When we're in those workshops, and they're all going to be done through Zoom, you know that there's a chat function, and if we unmute everybody, which we commonly do in these workshops, there's an opportunity to have a dialogue with the presenters. And each workshop will have between 2 and 4 presenters and moderators with whom you can interface. And so we definitely encourage that opportunity. In fact, the rest of the workshops are going to be focused on tips to making those things happen. The whole thing with the symposium is we're bringing leaders to you, and it's almost unfortunate if you don't reach out to them. Now, if this is an individual, the speaker's an individual you don't care to connect with, that's totally fine. But if you believe that person can open a door, or answer a question, or provide mentoring guidance to you, by all means, you're going to reach out. And that's either through a verbal question, through the unmute, or it's through chat. Where I wanted to focus today's comments on is when you do reach out. In the next couple of weeks, we'll talk about how, but today is when. Because I want to create the foundation of what happens when you reach out. When you reach out to that speaker, that panelist, that moderator, and that person comes back to you and says, wow, do you have additional information? What are you going to do? Are you ready? Do you have that information? What's next? And I don't want you to be in the situation where you're stuck saying, oh shoot, my resume is not ready. My LinkedIn profile is not ready. And it just makes you look bad. So what we want to do is make it so that you look sharp. So there are 3 primary areas. You already know what those areas are because of the poll. But I'm going to go through them kind of, rather quickly but they are important. The first is your resume. If that person reaches out to you and says, please send me your resume, even if you're not in the job marketplace right now. The resume isn't just for right now, it's for down the road. Have that resume ready. Have it clean, have it informative, have it complete, have it compelling. It's clean. I already said that once, but I implore you to make sure that there are no grammatical and spelling mistakes. But have it ready. Now, what I would do is if that person, whomever that person is, reaches out and asks your resume, I would do a little research on that person and revise your resume so that that person can read it through their lens. So if it's aircraft maintenance and your resume is targeted more towards marketing, sales, even pilot, tweak it a little bit so it can resonate with what that person's company seeks in new hires. Just a tip, but have your resume ready. Now, there's no better way to have your resume ready than by having others review it. So send it. Send it by email, post it to your profile, send it however you want. Text me with it, whatever, we will review it. I'm reviewing resumes daily. Happy to share feedback with you, but you're going to want your resume ready. Now, the symposium starts October 5, so we have, just 3 3/4 weeks left. So it's a great way. Now is a great time to do that. Some of you already have resumes. I would encourage you to take another look at your resumes just to update it, whether it's by the number of hours or you want to change wording or you've picked up a skill or two, but give it a good look. The second item is your LinkedIn profile. Now, if a third of you have LinkedIn profiles, that's okay. Not everybody has one. But I can tell you that if they see you on the chat and you're exchanging your names because your name pops up in the chat, they may pull your name aside, and even as they're on the call, they may go to LinkedIn and punch your name in. Now, if you don't have a profile, they can't find you, that's not a red flag. What a red flag will be is if they go to your LinkedIn profile and it's not complete, it's not informative, and here I am regurgitating what I just said about the resume. It's the same thing with your LinkedIn profile. And we've talked about the LinkedIn profile in the past, but it's your resume, but it's accentuated because you can use open paragraphs, open sentences to describe your experiences and your skills, your extracurricular activities in greater detail. And you can put up your career bio, your objective. You can describe yourself in a number of words, so it provides more than just a resume. So again, if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, either create one and build it, and I'm totally happy to help you build it, or don't do anything at all, and that's fine. But if you have a LinkedIn profile, take a good hard look at it, because LinkedIn could be the first place they go to check you out, and spruce it up, revise it, update it, and that sort of thing. Again, send it to me, send me the link, I'll give a review. I think I reviewed about 100 LinkedIn profiles today. Happy to do that. I didn't go through with each person on the mistakes. I just said, hey, I review your LinkedIn profile and it needs help. Let me help you. So the LinkedIn profile is important because they're not going to go to Facebook right away or Twitter. It's too hard to find you, but they can put in your name and your city or maybe the school you attended, and your name will pop up in LinkedIn in the search, and they'll check you out. And then the third is your Pathways to Aviation Career Profile. Now, the Pathways Career Profile has everything already embedded in it. So it has your resume, it has your LinkedIn profile, but then it has your career interests, your bio, your skills, your career aspirations, answer some questions like elevator pitch and interviews. So if you have that clean and informative and up to date, employers and mentors can review it. They can just go to your career profile Pathways and get everything, the resume, the LinkedIn, and all that other goodness in one stop. So you're going to want to make sure that your career profile is up to speed. So each one of those three takes time to develop, but it's well worth the attention you give it. All three of them. And they each deserve regular updating, revision, wordsmithing, that sort of thing. What you don't want to see happen is you don't want dust to collect on your resume, LinkedIn, or your Pathways career profile, because if it does, it's stagnant and it's old information. I saw a bunch of LinkedIn profiles today where the information was like 3 years old, and I knew that they were in other positions, and it didn't look good. So if I went to that LinkedIn profile, if I was an employer or a recruiter, I would see this like 3 years old, and now I'm left to wonder, is that person still working? Are they still living in that city? Are they still in that field? Are they still in aviation? What's going on? And then you have to reach out to them, or they just skip over you. So I would address each. It doesn't have to be daily. Some people use LinkedIn daily to send messages, post blogs, things like that. That's a different discussion. But if it's just talking about your profile, just kind of visit it every couple days, once a week, that sort of thing, so that it's clean, up to date, revised, the whole bit. Okay, enough of all that. What I now want to talk about is your Pathways career profile, and in particular, becoming certified. So I'm asked all the time, what are the benefits of becoming certified? Like, what's in it for me? So the first benefit is that it's an achievement. You have completed a process of something. It's kind of like graduation. You have been through a series of steps where you went through it on your own, but then you had guidance from experts in the field. And you jumped through those hoops to make you look better, feel more confident, and ready for success in that job interview. And that's our role. So we did this process specifically for achievement purposes. We gave it a certification. And you can go around boasting that you've been certified, And when we talk to employers, we essentially say, yes, that person's been vetted. We've worked with them. We understand who they are. And it really helps them understand you. It helps them understand us and the whole process. And it works great. When you've completed the process to become certified, your profile, if you've allowed it, and you've either disallowed it or allowed it, your profile to be seen by mentors and recruiters. So there are recruiters at the back end waiting to see your profile when you become certified. That's huge. Now, we don't have a ton of employers in there right now, and you can't see them all, but they're coming. We wanted to bring the candidates into the family first so that when we talk to employers and they ask, and they do, how many candidates you have in the system, we can say we now have this many. It's a good time for you to come in. Plus, a lot of the employers are not spending money right now on hiring, that they're holding it. They've kind of frozen those assets until such time when they're ready to proceed. And then they're going to start investing in programs like us, career fairs, that sort of thing. Once you become certified, you then become on our recommendation list. So when employers come to us and ask us for great candidates, we will actually recommend you. Because first you've tabbed in your profile your career interests, whether it's fixed wing or helicopter piloting, it's engineering, it's dispatch, whatever it is, we know. So it can be a clean match. Similar to that, you will come to us asking for references. It happens all the time. We always say yes. You're going to come to us for references to apply for college, apply for scholarships, and apply for jobs. We're there for you. Put us down. Like I've said in the past, we're happy to be put down, but you have to notify us in advance. And then you have to notify us when we can expect the call. And that usually happens in the interview phase. It's courteous. Plus, it helps us, especially me, if I get the call, I can check out your profile just in case I kind of forgot and be like, oh yes, gotcha. Eric does this, 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 and this. Okay, now I remember it all came back. I can give you a clean reference. So there's a lot of value just in the recommendation and the reference. And then the last, as it pertains to the symposium coming up, you're invited to participate in our candidate spotlight feature. And so we'll do an interview with you. It could be one-on-one, it could be group, it could, whatever it looks like. Now, what I've offered to Corey is a one-on-one interview that could be live if his schedule permits. For others, it could be similar to that. It could be you presenting a video of you, your elevator pitch, kind of like your resume on video. It could be, we can work out any number of things. So you're invited to participate. So it's important, we believe, to become certified for those reasons. And there are just 5 reasons, but we believe that there are 5 big reasons, and it's exactly why we created the certification process to begin with. It's achievement-based, it teaches you great skills, and it connects you when you've completed the process to opportunities that you may have never seen before. Now, when we talk about the certification itself, there are simple steps. I believe that if you're ready and you jump in and do it, and I think Corey, it took him like 3 days, you can do it in 3 days. The average is 7 days when you keep it on your radar. And here are some easy steps. First is creating the profile. Log in, password, all that. Fill out the information. So we want you to complete all the profile fields. And that includes your bio, your career interests, and that sort of thing. And then we'll ask you to provide a list of your soft skills. And we'll work with you on those that maybe you have missed. And then you're going to upload your resume. That resume will be a series of 2 or 3 back and forths, maybe 4 for a couple of you, where you'll upload the resume, we will review it, send you back the notes. It's all electronic, it'll be scanned and sent back to you. You'll then revise, upload again, and go through that process until we think it's spot on. It'll never be perfect. My resume, it's never perfect. But we're going to work with you so it gets to the point where it is show worthy. So when we say, okay, it's show worthy, then we give the green light to allow you to submit it for an application. Now, some of you are already using your resumes that we haven't seen for applications. That's fine. But if you want it to sparkle and shine, go through the process, and we'll help make that happen. And then the last is the networking / interviewing section where you're going to provide like a script of your elevator pitch, and we'll work with you on smoothing that out. And there are a series of like interview questions that you're going to answer, and again, we're going to work with you on those as well, much like we did or do with the resume. Those are key steps. Like I mentioned, it takes between 3 and 7 days. It's not rocket science. It's really easy, but there are critical steps. You're not going to learn this necessarily in school. You're going to learn it with us and maybe some other groups, but we want to get it so that you are view ready by the mentor and the reviewer. So that's today's topic is your career readiness, mostly for when you make contact with that mentor, that speaker, that panelist, that moderator during symposium week, and when they ask you, send me, whatever that send me is, LinkedIn, resume, whatever, that it's ready. Because the worst thing you can do is either say no or I don't know. And if you show confidence and say, sure, here it is, it's going to make you look like gold.